Yes, what's up, everyone? Freaky Friday here on the Big Show with the big man, with the big mouth. Lots of big stuff going on at Call to the Pen HQ. Rate, review, and subscribe. Somebody subscribe, and thank you all. We are doing the hard charge towards 1,000 subscriptions. Again, we are Sparta. We are a little bit fierce. Come from nothing, build our way from the ground up, and that's why people really digging it, right? Welcome aboard, D-Rock, Taco Core, Jeff L, Brian E, BGC, Brian, another Brian. Man, welcome to the Freaky Friday fastest show in MLB. Absolutely anywhere. Bad boy to the bank, rubber stamp it. No, I gotta be honest, today's fastest show gonna be a little bit faster than normal. I'm a bit out of sync. Long story short, I had another show booked for 10 o'clock before we moved the show from noon. I was gonna do it first. I couldn't rescheduled, so we're going to be in and out of here. This is the 30-minute fastest of the fastest show of all time with J&J. Let's go get it, everybody. I don't think I can do game by game, and of course, like in a rush today. It wasn't because of the show. I prepped last night. I really prioritized this show, to be honest. I had a data absolute malfunction. I don't know if anybody, there might be a couple people that follow along as you go. Brian, notice there's 100 new subscribers. Yes, hello. Yeah. Listen, other shows are losing steam, right? They're losing the vigor. And we're just always bringing that smoke, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like what we do, me and you, Call to the Pen crew. Okay, again, so of course, I had a data malfunction on the worst day. It was absolutely awful, but it was like I was telling Jay, sometimes I screw up and it's like a logo gets misplaced. Someone will say, oh, you have the Met logo where the Yankee logo goes. I had like the wrong pictures in the wrong slots. Honestly, it was really unlike me. I do this stuff every day, handicapping 5,000 games. I guess it happens. But I had to do that because the work on the show builds off of that. So do the picks. Oh my God, it was an absolute disaster. Let's go get it. So I'm just going to focus on the stuff that I know I have already printed, right? So we're going to kind of bury the lead. This is the bury the lead edition. So let's go first up. We're going Yankees and Baltimore, my New York Yankees. A little bit of Yankee trivia right before they were the Yankees in 1903. The Yankees were called what? Who knows? Answer's the Highlanders. Who knows the answer before that? Answer is the Baltimore Orioles. How about that? That's a little bit of Yankee trivia for you. So that's part of the intertwining of why Yankees and Orioles lore and history is so tied together. It's Garrett Cole and Grayson Rodriguez. Garrett Cole, we know he's an ace, 2.78 ERA, 108 whip. 625 OPS, just doing all the thing. 124 stuff plus in the four-seamer. Oh my gosh, just off the page. The 28% K is actually look a little low, but if you told me he had a sub 7% walk, I'd be pretty happy because the 21 K minus BB is beautiful. He's getting ahead, getting chases, winning in the zone, doing all the things that we love. And maybe more importantly than the walks is the homer per 9 for Cole down below 1. OPMG, of course you knew the answer, but that's a pretty good one, right? It's a pretty good piece of trivia. I always think about that whenever the Yankees play the Orioles. Cole's been excellent. I mean, he's been his best on the road, which makes sense. So you're definitely going to like him in a spot like Baltimore, 2.59 ERA, half a homer 9, and that ballpark is going to help him out. Last 400 pitches, everything looks clean. Sierra at 3. And I also added, if you're wondering like where I pull all this nonsense from all the time, right? You follow me on Twitter at John Laghezza. Check out my new fancy blue checkbook. I tweet every day when I do my data dump. You get a free look at it if you want. But really, my pride and joy is the pitching sheet, the SP matchup sheet. And I added pitching plus, stuff plus, location plus. Those things do correlate in season and are worth it, give you an idea. I have mixed feelings on the location stuff, but it all checks out. Just to give you an idea, right? We like to just add to the tapestry the things that matter. The one thing that would pop on the page for Rodriguez, you see the inflated ERA, the inflated whip, and all that stuff. But he's been good as of late, right? Sometimes these prospects, the growth is not linear, and a lot of times this is kind of the trajectory that I actually like. A guy comes up with all the steam, other people overpay for him in fantasy, they overpay for him in betting markets, we generally attack. We did that with Brandon Pfaadt, we did it with Grayson Rodriguez. They get sent down. If they improve, they come back up, generally they'll look good. Rodriguez looks fantastic. The thing is, I'm on the under here, Jay. Bring up those F5 unders. Both of these offenses just struggling. It's like struggle bus doesn't even really sum it up properly. Yankees team OPS at 671 last 500 PAs, only 10 doubles and 12 homers. Yikes! 24% K, 84 zone contact. Just they're swinging and missing, and they're terrible generally. 295 WOBA, 88 WRC plus for the Yankees. Over to Baltimore in a little bit of a downtrend. You bring up a lot of youngsters. That can kind of happen. Like, I'd be putting Mountcastle to the 4. That's just me. Baltimore 284 team OBP, 220 17 BA, only 13 homers in that stretch. Also 24% K, but they only walk 7% of the time. 46% ground ball rate, 294 WOBA, that's an 86 WRC plus, and they're bottom 5 in both WOBA and expected WOBA against righties last 30 days. So really not any good. We are going under the 4.5. Jay's using betstamp.app/Cole to the pen. Listen, my mama said shop around. This kind of speaks for itself, especially when sometimes you beat entire lines. We were talking about reading the tape yesterday. If you're into like theoreticals, I know the game breakdowns don't matter, but yesterday's episode was like chock full of all that nuance and context just pouring out your nose. So let's go New York and Baltimore. Let's skip ahead to the next one. I'm not used to this, All right, let's go to my hour. How dare I? My Nationals. It's our Nationals. Jay, bring up the Nats game, my friend. Sticking with the New York theme, they're going to Queens to face the Let's Go Mets Go and the chairman of the board, old Blue Eye, Max Scherzer. I really like Gore. He's one of these big-time positive progression candidates. 4.4 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, but the indicators are all nice and low. Sierra below 4, K rate at 28. We love that. 13 swing and strike, 29.5 whiff, 84 zone contact. So he's doing the thing, right? Getting his swings and misses. He's winning in the zone. He's got the 40% ground ball rate that we're looking for. This one is interesting. I mean, the misses that turned into home runs, a lot of them were front-loaded in the season and were more early on. I tend to like the Nationals pitchers that I like, Gray and Gore, outside of Washington. So I think I'm going to stick with Gore today. Now, Scherzer's been good. We're going to just need to be picking on the Mets offense, which has been terrible. Jay, I'm eyeballing that F5 run line attached with plus money for the Nationals. Again, if you're unfamiliar to our work here, welcome aboard. It's got to be one of my favorite bets in the MLB strata. Where if I get to it, if I have 1 minute at the end, I'm going to mention my new favorite. And if you know me, I do not like flip-flop styles and strategies. And in fact, if you see me add a new style of bet, I've probably been back testing it on my own. We'll get to that at the end. But we love the F5 run lines. Why? Well, one, it would help us avoid that Washington bullpen. That's the number one. Remember, there are certain teams, you've got to think to yourself, you don't play for a full game. Washington bullpen lasts 42 and 2/3. It's an 8.65 ERA, 1.8 whip, 328 batting average. How was that a thing? So you don't want anything to do with it. You can isolate it to the starting pitcher. It reflects in the prices. And the Mets offense is a garbaggio, in particular against lefties. But 205 team batting average, 288 OBP, that's a 641 OPS. I mean, they're not doing anything well. They're a ground ball machine. They don't pull. 81 WRC plus, also bottom 3 against lefties, WOBA, and expected WOBA last 30. So Mets, not any good. Again, Scherzer's been good. I don't think we're going to mow him down. I'm hoping we get this one 0-0-1-1. Again, that's why we like the plus run at plus money. We get to cash this bad boy at a tie, and we don't have to worry about a thing. Also, one more piece to this. I was trying to avoid the theoreticals, but we're just going to do the plays I have. Is, again, as we approach football, this is a very important one. You want to be betting in line with the team's desires, as weird as it sounds, their innermost desires. But it's the truth, though, right? You want to be betting in line with the managerial direction of the game. This is like the antithesis of betting the spreads, right? People that bet spreads, especially in football over a touchdown, and baseball, the spread in general, although the Ghost Runner wrecks that. But the idea being in baseball as well, the manager will easily sacrifice that run, right? The run below yours that would keep them up 1 with a man on third in extra innings. And you'll notice they regularly do that in the 5th, right? Because teams are not thinking about necessarily winning. Of course, they want to prevent runs, but you don't have infields in and stuff in the 5th. So they give up a sack fly, which also softens the market for underdogs sometimes in these F5 games, right? You're in line with the direction of the game, right? It's almost like we're trying to sneak by the F5, right? Because they Don't care about protecting that 1-run lead. Again, when we get into football, that's going to be at the 4. When I start to do betting strategy for football, that's a very big one. It really helped me get into the black and make money, which is really what it's all about. As much as I love to do the analysis and have fun and teach you and stuff, like, let's make money. All right, next up, we're going to Philly. I'm going to pair it. We could probably do both of these at once. Well, I mean, I guess I got something. I don't have to rush too much. All right, let's go to Philly. Philadelphia, my boy Zach Wheeler on the bump against Mitch Keller and the Buccos. I think the Pirates and Mitch Keller in general both turning back into pumpkins. Wheeler and the Phillies, again, side waving up. Here we go. Wheeler, 3.88 ERA, 114 whip. Remember, whip, the most highly correlated to in-season earn run average. The 663 OPS, every earn run indicator low. You know, the expected ERA, 327, which we love. Elevated stuff plus on the fastball, sub 5% walk rate. That's a 22.5 K minus BB. You love that. Ball rate below 35 with the whiff rate up at 27. Whiff rate, excuse me. Also, the big time bully metric. You know, even in the abridged show, we were getting the bully metric out there. I like to add first strike to chase rate, and if they equal 100. YZ bully gets up, gets ahead, makes sure chases junk. The Gabaggio. You got to love that. 64 first strike, 36 O swing. Put you over that 100 mark. Wheeler doing all the things we like, suppressing hard contact, 5% barrel, 2% blast, 277 expected WOBA. Just, he's been a nightmare on opposition. You know, blast 400 pitches. Ignore the ERA. Indicators are low, stuff plus is high, location is high, pitching plus high. Starting to regress, and I think that's what we're looking to attack on both sides of the ball. So Jay, this one we're going to pair. I won't bury the lead so you can put it together because we're going to. Then I want you to come back here. So give me the Philly F5 money line. I paired it with Minnesota. Right, idea being they were too juiced up. I didn't want to get into run lines. Pairing the F5s and willing to take the out on the push, where we have the heavy pitching matchups. Right, so we have Sonny Gray for the Twins, Wheeler for the Phillies. I'm going to pair those two together. So, Jay, we want to hit that pair. We also want to get the under walks on Wheeler if it's still out there. Boy, Frankie A, we're tailing him all. You know, I always hat tip those I'm following. I don't do much tailing, but this one I had to. I think it's a bit of a misprice. Zach Wheeler's walk prop is at plus money. Under 1.5, by the way. You know, sometimes, I don't think he's ever come in at 0.15, at 0.5. But he could, right? We mentioned a low walk rate, mentioned a low ball rate, which I think ball percentage is also in that pitching sheet that I mentioned. Again, it's $20 versus the season. Like, gosh, I don't know how you could replace that with the time spent and tabs and trying to split. You know what I mean? Like, I did this stuff for a reason. So Wheeler, I mean, he's been a control beast lately. Wheeler has exactly 1 walk in his last 26 innings. Okay, so let's mash that at 105. So everybody, let's get the Wheeler walk prop to the under. OPMG asking, and again, I don't mind, I'm not hiding this stuff. What are you using to get that data? Is it Fangraphs? Oh, yes. The answer is like yes and no. So the answer is yes, it is on Fangraphs, but you also need to know how to like harness it. So you need to get it from custom pages and build it out, and then grab it. That's why I just think it's much easier to use mine. But yeah, you can get it on a Fangraphs, but it's not like on the page. You need the custom boards, and then you need the drop down. Then you need to create the page and name it and bring it up. And again, I don't even know if you can do all that stuff if you're not a member, premium member with all the ads and stuff like that. So that's why, again, I'm doing my best to do the work so everyone doesn't have to. So let's jump into the other half of that little soiree. Sonny Gray and the Twinkies, minus 165 against the Royals and Brady Singer. Adding those two together, Jay, should have got us, about like a plus 160, I think, which I really like. Even if you put like 2 or 3 on that, even if up to 5, I'll go. So Sonny Gray and the Twins, I mean, this one kind of speaks for itself against the Royals with Cheese and Brady, the wedding singer. You know, Gray, 315 ERA, the whip a bit high because the walk rate is a bit high, but the underpinning stuff is pretty good. You know, he's pitching to contact maybe a bit more than some fantasy owners wanted. But when you're getting, 49 ground ball, 6 barrel, 2 blast, quarter home run per 9, you let the guy pitch to contact. We're betting here. Not saying we don't care about strikeouts. Strikeouts are good. But that type of weak contact plus low EV are double play balls also. So I'm into Gray. He's been very good on the road all year. 234 batting average allowed, 645 OPS, .2 homer 9. Been decent as of late. And Singer kind of stinks. He's also been terrible at home. 555 ERA, 1.5 whip for Singer, OPS north of 800, 19% K to 8 walk, and just single digit swing and strike. 8% miss rate also, 29 O swing, 92 zone contact. So there's the difference, right? They're both pitching to contact. Brady Singer has even kept the ball down, but he's a 51% hard hit rate. That's a 95-mile-an-hour metric on StatCast. Righties killing him. Righties are batting 298 against him. He has nearly 5 ERA at home. So I think Minnesota through 5, even if I don't want to say somehow they get the Gray, but even if they do hang 1 or 2, I think we're good for 2 to 3. OPMG, call to the pen. Where can I find the data on what pitch the pitcher is using to get the K? Man, that's a tough one. Which pitchers get strikeouts? Savant would have that. If you're following in real time, the MLB app would have that also. All your game cast stuff. Yeah, Jay said Savant, but yeah, anywhere with a game cast. But that's a tough one. Also, anything pitching again, it's free. Would be Alex Chamberlain's pitch leaderboard, right? Go to Twitter handle pitch leaderboard. Attached to Alex Chamberlain's thing. That thing it's crazy. It's like the Jedi library. Okay, so we got some plays. Man, Jay, I don't want to say we were doing it wrong. Like, man, this should make my life a little bit easier. We were just we're covering the stuff that we liked and kind of ignoring the rest. But I don't like ignoring the board. I know people come here for the granular stuff, especially like DFS, right? When you need every single game, you need to know just a little bit about it. If you hear it, maybe it's like, oh, okay, I don't want that. But you might hear ones where you got to get involved. So I don't think we'll make a habit out of this one, but it is making my life a little bit easier. All right, who's next? Let's head down to Seattle, or up to Seattle, out west to Seattle, Pacific style. It's Logan Gilbert on the bump, on the road, -140 favorite against great American Patriot Tommy Henry and the Snakes with shapes on their back. Gilbert is an ace to me. 3.88 ERA, but a 1 flat whip, 650 OPS, walk rate down below 5. Do me a favor, Jay, bring up his walk props. Whenever you see that, you want to kind of look at that. Again, I didn't get to it this morning. My life's a nightmare right now. 130? Oh, man, I really feel like we should be digging on that. This is funny. On player props, sometimes I can get a little bit like a trepidatious, a little weird of a word. I'm a little scaredy cat. It happens sometimes. But I think we should hit it. 2 walks through 4 starts. Only 2 walks in one of the last 7. And yeah, so if I get the 130, I like it there. Gilbert is a control machine. And I think the other side of that, even though it's funny, we think about Arizona being really good. Here, we were signaling this, and now I think we're seeing it happen. Again, one of the gold stars that we've been wearing all year on our big noses are the more macro trend indications on offensive swings. Right? I mean, it's the truth, right? We picked up on San Diego, but before it happened, right? Betting against them to betting on them. Some of the bad teams, right? On Oakland and off Oakland. Nats on and off that train all year. Cincinnati, heavy early, backed off, got back on. Now we're off again. I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to these more like the bad teams. Arizona, was the box, first place, leading on the Dodgers, really feeling very real. Not going to be wrong, I don't think I'm counting them out. It's still a lot of season to go. But right now, I at least put out that klaxon call, to not be so scared of certain teams, right? I mean, we bailed on the Yankees a long time ago. Judge, obviously, is an easy one. But Arizona, right, we were worried about the strikeouts, we're worried about the walks. All these numbers are kind of dropping now. Don't get me wrong, they're still good. It's a good team, but I don't know, the elevation has kind of come out of it. And a lot of the expected stats are not backing it up. The bat rate is way down. 298 expected WOBA against righties last 30 days. I mean, that's really poor. That's bottom 5. And if you're into the kind of, nerdier stuff, 300x WOBA probably projects like under 4 runs. And projecting under 4 runs doesn't mean you get 4 runs. It means you're the lowest projection in the field. Because 4 3/4 is the average. So if you're, 3/4 of a run below that, 15%. It's a big deal. So Arizona again, I'm speaking through this because I was so worried. Jay, we want the full game. This one was pretty easy. Why? I don't like to overreact to bullpen stuff, but there are teams that go through again these kind of waves of being good, being bad. We want Seattle. Arizona's another one. You do not want Arizona for a full game right now. You don't want nothing to do with them. Get away from Arizona. Bullpen list 38 innings. It's a 9.5 ERA, 5.45 Sierra, 1.8 WHIP, 314 batting average allowed to a 14% K rate. Just atrocious. Smash the Seattle run line, please, Mr. Coop. While I move it on, I think I have one more. Then I'm checking. I refreshed. I was checking the K leader. I'm gonna save a few minutes to go through that, and I want to talk about my new favorite bet after we do this one last play, quick as could be. Oh my gosh, why do I feel like I made a mistake? Let me double check it before I give out bad advice twice. No, it's true. Head down to Boston, last game of the slate. My boy Cutter with a K Crawford on the road on a bump. Plus 120 dog against Logan Webb and Los Gigantes. Why do we like it? It's going to sound a lot like the first one. Right, give me that run line. Check out the run line. And if there is a plus money attached to it, we're going to take that in a race to 15. I think Cutter Crawford, one of the better first five, I love. Yeah, we're looking for plus money on the first five. That's always like my favorite thing, to get on the right side of 50%. Well, I moved this. Obviously, because I printed this one earlier. So I'll take the 125. It's okay. So the recommendation, sorry, everybody, I'm goofing. Boston, F5, run line to the dog side. The reason I'm not even going for the full one is, Webb has been excellent, right? So downright excellent. We're looking again get this one 0-0-1-1. Crawford's been really good too. I'm not buying the 4 ERA on the 112 whip. Expected ERA at 3.25. Webb's is 3.5 for example. Carter Crawford was one of the best four seamers in the game. I know people hear that. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's true. My stuff plus, I don't just cite people's black box stuff. I reverse engineer this crap. It's the truth. The ball rate's great. The control is great. Sub 6% walk rate, and Boston has a definitive edge on offense right now. San Francisco in the tank. 192 team batting average. What? Last 500 plate appearances, 71 WRC plus. 284 WOBA against righties last 30. So give me Boston. And now we're gonna just wrap it up really, really, really quick. Because I really gotta jam in just a couple minutes. So thanks everybody for tuning along. We gotta get back at you on Monday. If you feel short, I will be around this afternoon. So you could tag me, check the sheet, go and sharpen the message, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna be around today. I have some stuff to do. I'll be back in the afternoon. If you're into football, I get Dwayne McFarland coming on. It's gonna be awesome. Oh my god, it's gonna be awesome. Sorry, James, it's gonna be so good. Anyway, finish up on baseball. Yeah, check me out rest of the day for baseball stuff. The favorite new bet that I mentioned, again, you'll see these popping up, are these under 1/2 strikeouts. I was hoping I could get to. Man, I was hoping I could get to one really quick. I closed my program. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to talk to her because I do have a few minutes. All right, so the idea being, right, you're looking for a player that's not going to strike out. We're finding players in these really strong spots at crazy good odds. Right, so again, we've seen Matt do very well with his juice reducers, a Rise who doesn't strike out and stuff like that. Thanks so much, OPMG. Yeah, we've been doing very, very well. Yesterday was a perfect example. Eloy Jimenez has been awesome. He's also one of the best hitters in baseball when he's hitting. He's at plus 175 every single day. There's something wrong with that here. Okay, this is a funny one. Okay, so it's in the Seattle game. Again, I don't think these are up on BetStamp. I'm telling you, I don't know if you're going to get niche stuff like this. But if I'm wrecking, it's like, because I said so, go do it. The number, all the math checks out. Like you have my absolute word. Okay, so of course, you know me. I mentioned those sheets on Fangraphs. You could also create all types of stuff. So I put together a little K sheet. Swing percentage, contact, Z swing, Z contact, swing and miss. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. It'd be a bit tough to navigate some of these pages. You got to practice. But I think it's worth it. So since the Mariners called up Cade Marlowe, and it's funny, that's what you go like, who? Now remember, that's part of it. Because we're going under on the K. We want the 9 hitter. We want the 9-hitter on a team that's not projected for a ton of runs. You know what I mean? Although I think I have Seattle scoring still. You know what I mean? They're not the prolific. So you get the 9-hitter who just got the call. He has a 13% K rate, but all the stuff was strong. Of course, I flicked off it. Cade Marlowe. It's 2 strikeouts so far since the call up. 80% contact, 27% O swing, single-digit swing and strike. Right, the stuff we're looking for. He makes contact. He doesn't chase. He's not swinging and missing. I went over to the minor league stuff. And I just had him. He hadn't struck out. I think it was this year when I lost it. So God, that plus 160. I mean, it's just wild in matchups again. Remember, it's not just blind betting and stuff. Screw me. The cross on these matrices, is it matrices, are usually pretty strong, right? So the other side is Tommy Henry, and then I'm gonna have to get going. Tommy Henry, 16% K rate on the season, striking out 14% of lefties, 17% of righties. Again, all this on my pitching sheet. So if you're getting players with sub 20% K rates that are, he might not even get 5, he might only get 4 plate appearances. I don't know. It looks really strong. Again, I'm putting these again. I've dialed down the risk. I only go for like a half betting unit, but going for casting more of a wide net. Remember, it's not really the exact thing. You want to be playing more than less, and sometimes you're going to get bad calls. It happens, right? So you're not going to put in the farm in these, but you're building really strong plus EV tickets. And then very last thing. It's not out. I want to just take a quick look at the K prop leader. I think I can give you an idea of our favorite dogs. Come on, we were so good last weekend. Jay, we got to be the only player. And most other places would have been tweeting and boasting and stuff. We're just like, whatever, another day at the office, you know. We had all the 9. We had 9s in the back of the field, yo. That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank goodness Alex Cobb didn't put his thumb in our eye. He almost had us, dude. So, okay, these are the strongest whiff baskets, the strongest strikeout baskets. Remember, again, you check my pitching sheet. K, walk, swing and strike, CSW, ball, whiff, first strike, foul, contact rates. You know, right? We want to put it all together. This baseball thing's about a tapestry. Obviously, it's McClanahan. I got Gaussman on the blind draw. I got Braxton Garrett, Zach Wheeler, Garrett Cole. The deep shot might be, I don't know, Olson's contact is too high. And then, I don't know, Moss. Yeah, I don't really have anybody too far out. Maybe Webb. You know, Webb's been striking hitters out, even as a kind of a contact ground ball guy. You know, last time it was just so happened. Herman was part of that kind of preliminary list. Pops up on the board at 150. Even after we smashed him, he was 85-1 and cashed 40-something to 1 or whatever on FanDuel. So keep an eye on those guys. Man, I'm too bad. Every slate is going to be a little bit different. We have a lot of, like, I had a lot of unders ringing tonight, so I'm not going to have a lot of those strikeout props because we have strikeout guys, but it's all kind of chalk. Maybe Mackenzie Gore go up there too. 29.5 whiff, 83 zone contact. Yeah, maybe Gore. Gore's probably one of the better ones. Maybe Crawford also. Okay, I think those are my long shots, right? The long shots are going to be Crawford's going to be at the back. Gore is the more towards the back. And then it's favorites. I'm not normally playing favorites. I'd rather just wait to try and like crack this market wide open. All right, and that will do it this time, everybody. I'm getting out of here. Enjoy the weekend. Hope you enjoy the abbreviated Friday show. Brian, the answer to your question is FanDuel. Brian wants to know who has this awesome K leaderboard thing that we're talking about. Yeah, it's on FanDuel. So FD, if anybody from there is watching, feel free to sponsor the show. We're going to pump the hell out of that. We will make this the most popular contest on the web. You know, feels it's like a bet. It's like golf betting. I'm telling you guys, it's a big company out there just missing out on us. We are Sparta. This is madness. No, this is Call to the Pen. HQ, fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Thank you all so much, man. We'll be back Monday, standard show, and then Friday I'm going to be put together all the good guest stuff again. Today was just really an anomaly because we made that pitch and change. And if you know anything about me, I got to keep my promises. You know, I'm here every single day, rain or shine, sick or not. We know that. So I made a promise that I got to keep it. So I am out. I'm going to enjoy my weekend, but I will be back on the Bird app later on this afternoon. Look for me, OBMG, and guys, D-Rock, Brian Rose. Enjoy you, man. I really do appreciate you, Brian. It's been really great to kind of meet you and connect with you, and that's been part of this really. Right, I'm you. Like, I'm one of you. You know, people are like, oh, I can't believe the host of shows involved this. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I want your contributions, your interacting. This is supposed to be an immersive experience. So, thank Rob Pizzola on the Bird app sometime this weekend. He really appreciates that stuff. Hey, let's thank our algorithmic overlords for granting us our new stuff. All right, before we get canceled, I'm getting out of here. Thank you for picking up what we're putting down here. Call to the pen, rate, review, and subscribe. All that stuff matters more than it should. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we are done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, Carter Crawford all the way to the back end. Mackenzie Gore, more towards the back. And then if you want, Jay will scroll down those plays. And we are out of here. Remember, when you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck. I see you on Monday, D-Gens. Peace.